Welcome back to James English. I'm Jayz.
And I'm Amy, EP36, May 6th.
And today, Home Sweet Home.
Home sweet home. You said it so naturally just now. That phrase, where does it come from?
It's from a song written in 1823 by an American playwright called John Howard Payne. The lyric was, "Be it ever so humble, there's no place like home." And there's no place like home, also immortalized later in The Wizard of Oz, is probably one of the most widely recognized English phrases in the world. Home isn't just a building, it's a feeling.
We have something similar in Chinese. 金窝银窝不如自己的狗窝, literally. A golden nest, a silver nest. Neither is as good as your own doghouse. Even the humblest home is the one you love most.
A golden nest versus a doghouse? The humility in that saying is beautiful.
It's very Chinese, self-deprecating about your own space even while loving it deeply. Oh, it's just my little doghouse, but you'd rather be there than anywhere.
Today, the English of home. Not just what your home looks like, but how you talk about it, how you feel about it, what makes a space feel like yours.
Let's go home.
First, the vocabulary for different types of home, because in English-speaking countries, there are many different living arrangements, and each has its specific name.
Flatla, the British English word for an apartment, a self-contained living space within a larger building. I live in a flat, a one-bedroom flat, a studio flat, a flat with one main room that serves as bedroom, living room, and kitchen combined.
Apartment, the American English equivalent of flat, used in British English too, often for larger or more upscale properties. I have a two-bedroom apartment. In casual British speech, flat is more common.
House, a standalone building, usually with its own garden. I rent a house. We bought a house. Owning a house carries significant cultural weight in English-speaking countries. It's often seen as a major life milestone.
Terraced house, houses sharing walls with neighbors on both sides, built in long rows. I live in a terraced house, very common in British cities, semi-detached, sharing one wall with one neighbor, detached, standalone, no shared walls. We've just moved into a detached house, no shared walls. The silence is remarkable.
Cottage, a small, usually older house, often in the countryside associated with charm. Gardens, exposed beams, a little stone cottage in the Cotswolds. Cottage has a warm, romanticized quality in English imagination.
Bungalow, a single-story house, all rooms on one level, common in older British residential areas. My grandparents have a bungalow, no stairs, practical and unpretentious.
I rent. I own. I'm on the property ladder. Property ladder, the progression of buying increasingly valuable properties. Getting on the property ladder means buying your first home, usually a significant achievement. I'm still saving for a deposit. Deposit is the upfront payment required to buy a property.
I'm in a house share. Living with other people in a rented house, sharing common areas, very common among young professionals and students. There are 4 of us in a house share. I live with housemates. Housemates, people you share a home with but are not in a romantic relationship with.
The vocabulary of rooms and spaces, because describing your home means having the words for what's in it.
Living room, the main shared sitting space, also called the lounge in British English. Make yourself comfortable in the living room. The lounge is at the back of the house, more light in the afternoons.
Kitchen, where food is prepared. Open plan, when the kitchen and living area share one space without a wall between. It's an open plan kitchen and living area, very sociable. Galley kitchen, a narrow kitchen, usually in a corridor layout. It's a galley kitchen. We can't both be in it at the same time.
Bedroom, the sleeping room, master bedroom, the largest bedroom, usually with its own bathroom. Ensuite, a bathroom connected directly to a bedroom. The master has an ensuite. Guest bedroom, a bedroom for visitors. We set up the spare room as a guest bedroom.
Bathroom, where you wash and use the toilet in British English. Bathroom usually means both the room with the bath and the toilet. In American English, bathroom is widely used as a polite term for the toilet room, regardless of whether it contains a bath. Where's your bathroom? Is perfectly understood in both contexts.
Study, a room used for work or reading. I've converted the spare room into a study. Home office, specifically a workspace at home. I work from a home office. Den, an informal, cozy room for relaxing, very American in usage. We watch films in the den.
Hallway, the entrance corridor. Come in, just leave your shoes in the hallway. Landing, the area at the top of the staircase. The landing has a lovely window that lets in the morning light. Loft, the storage space in the roof of a house. It's all in the loft. We're converting the loft into a bedroom.
Now, describing how your home feels, because the physical layout is only half the picture. The atmosphere, the light, the feeling, that's what makes it home.
It's bright, good natural light. We get a lot of light. The south-facing windows make a real difference. South-facing in the northern hemisphere means facing the sun. It's quite dark, to be honest. Honest about a limitation.
It's cozy. Small and warm and comfortable, cozy is one of the most valued words in British residential vocabulary. It's not big, but it's incredibly cozy. Cozy as compensation. The smallness is reframed as intimacy.
It's a bit cramped. Not enough space, furniture, or people taking up too much room. When we have people over, it gets a bit cramped, but that's part of the charm. Turning a limitation into character.
We've made it our own, personalized, decorated, shaped to feel like you. It was very bland when we moved in. We've made it our own now. We've put our stamp on it. Stamp? A personal mark. Something that identifies you. The kitchen is all me. Amy would have different opinions.
Ha! I have very strong opinions about kitchen organization.
I suspected as much.
It's got good bones. The fundamental structure is solid, even if the surface needs work. Good bones is a property phrase. The layout, size, and construction are sound, even if the decoration is dated. It needs work, but it's got good bones.
It needs a bit of TLC, tender loving care, a home that needs attention, maintenance, and improvement. The garden needs some TLC, but the house itself is in good condition. TLC is warm, not saying the house is a disaster, just that it needs care.
It's in great condition. Well maintained, nothing needs fixing. The previous owners looked after it beautifully. Move-in ready. Can be lived in immediately without renovation. We were lucky. It was completely move-in ready. Tell me about your home, Jayz, the real description, not the estate agent version.
Ha! The estate agent version would be a bright, airy apartment in a sought-after neighborhood with period features and a south-facing aspect. The real version. I rent a 2-bedroom flat on the first floor in Britain, which means one up from the ground. It's a Victorian conversion, an old house divided into several flats, high ceilings, which I love. Original skirting boards, one of the bedroom windows sticks, and I've never gotten around to fixing it.
Ha, the stuck window.
It's been 8 months. The living room has a bay window, and in the afternoon the light comes through at this specific angle that I've come to love unreasonably. There's not enough kitchen storage. There never is. And the building's boiler makes a sound at 5 in the morning that I've given a name. Harold. I call it Harold.
You named the boiler.
Harold is very reliable. He just announces himself enthusiastically at 5 a.m. You learn to appreciate consistency.
As Confucius said, 知足者常乐. Those who know contentment are always happy. You've clearly made peace with Harold.
Harold and I have an understanding. Your turn.
My place in Shanghai is a studio apartment, quite small by any measure, but it's mine, and I've been there for 4 years, and every corner of it is deliberate. I have a drafting table by the window because the light is best there in the morning. I have shelves of design books that I'll defend to anyone who suggests decluttering. The kitchen is tiny, barely a galley, but I cook serious food in it. My grandmother came to visit once and immediately reorganized my cupboards. I cried a little. Then I admitted she was right.
Ha! Grandmother reorganizing the kitchen.
Grandmothers always know there's something in Chinese culture about the home being the primary domain of care jiao he wen shi xing. When the family is harmonious, everything prospers. The physical home and the emotional home are one thing.
The family is harmonious, everything prospers. That's a beautiful way to think about home, not as a building, but as a state of being. The vocabulary of home improvements and maintenance, because homes need attention.
We're doing the place up. Doing up. Renovating, improving, decorating. We're slowly doing the place up, one room at a time. Gradual, manageable, real.
We've just had the kitchen redone. Redone, completely replaced or renovated. We're getting new flooring. We repainted the living room. Repainted. Applied new paint.
It needs a fresh coat of paint, fresh coat, a new layer of paint over existing paint. The walls are looking tired. Tired, worn, dull, in need of refreshing. The walls don't actually look tired, but the word conveys exactly the right thing.
We've decluttered. Declutter, remove items that are no longer needed or that create visual noise. Marie Kondo made this a global cultural vocabulary. Does it spark joy? The question from Marie Kondo's philosophy about whether to keep an item. If it doesn't spark joy, let it go. Now, widely used and understood.
We've got a damp problem. Damp, moisture in walls or ceilings causing damage, and sometimes mold a common issue in older British properties. The landlord's dealing with the damp. There's a bit of a mold issue. Mold, fungal growth on damp surfaces. We'd been airing the place out more. Airing out, opening windows to allow fresh air circulation.
The boiler's on the blink, temporarily not working. British idiom for a malfunctioning appliance. The washing machine is on the blink. Again, the landlord sent someone round to the flat or house. Coming round means coming to your home.
I'm waiting for the plumber. Plumber, someone who fixes water pipes and related systems. I've been waiting 3 weeks for the electrician. Electrician, someone who fixes electrical systems, the wait for tradespeople.
Let me add something about the language of renting versus owning, because this distinction carries enormous weight in English-speaking cultures, and conversations about it come up constantly.
Are you renting or do you own? Is a surprisingly common question in British and Australian small talk, sometimes even with relative strangers. In the US, slightly less so, but still present.
I rent at the moment. Current status implies this may change. I'm renting while I save for a deposit. Clear trajectory. We're not in a position to buy yet. Position, financial or life circumstance, polite and unpretentious.
We bought last year, purchased property. We're on the property ladder now. Property ladder, the English metaphor for progressive property ownership. You start on a lower rung and climb as you buy more valuable properties over time.
We're saving for a deposit. Deposit, the initial payment, usually 10 to 20% of the property's value. We're looking at prices. It's quite the market. Understated expression for a housing market that is expensive or competitive.
The mortgage is manageable. Mortgage, the long-term loan used to buy a property repaid monthly over typically 25 years. Manageable is the key word. Not comfortable, not easy, but within reach.
We'd love to own eventually in the future at some unspecified point, the English of a deferred dream. Renting isn't forever for us.
There's an interesting tension in this topic in contemporary English. For previous generations, owning was the obvious goal, the default destination for many people now, particularly in cities with very high property prices. Renting long-term is becoming the reality, and the language around it is shifting.
There's no shame in renting. Actively pushing back against the cultural assumption that renting is inferior to owning. Renting gives us flexibility. We can move more easily, reframing the freedom of not being tied to a property.
Build to rent, developments, purpose. Build rental housing designed to be rented permanently with professional management. A newer model, it's a build to rent, nicer facilities, professional management, but you'll never own it.
Whatever the arrangement, the language for talking about it honestly and without embarrassment is important. Your housing situation is part of your life story, and it deserves to be described clearly and without apology. Home as emotional space, because a home is so much more than walls.
It's my sanctuary. Sanctuary, a safe place of refuge. After a long day, home is my sanctuary. The word sanctuary has religious origins, a sacred protected space, and has come to mean any place of deep safety and peace.
Shakespeare wrote, "My house is my castle," later reformulated as the English legal principle, "An Englishman's home is his castle." The idea that your home is your inviolable domain, your own private sovereignty. That's a deep cultural idea in English-speaking countries. At home, I make the rules. It's my castle.
I love that. And in Chinese, we have jia, is the character for both family and home. Her roof over a pig, the practical and the emotional, unified in one character. You can't have home without family in the concept. The building and the people are the same word.
A roof over a pig. I love the pragmatism of that.
Very grounded, very Chinese. Where do you keep the pig? That's home.
Ha! Home is where the pig is. Less romantic then. There's no place like home, but more honest, perhaps.
Home is where you keep your pig and call it your own.
Deeply poetic in its own way.
I want to add something about the small objects that make a home personal, because this is one of the richest areas of home description, and it's where personality really shows.
The things you choose to surround yourself with, what they reveal. Because, as the English saying goes, you can tell a lot about a person by their bookshelves. And not just bookshelves.
I have too many books, said by every book lover with complete satisfaction. We've run out of shelf space. The books are starting to colonize the floor. Colonize used humorously. The books are spreading and taking over.
I collect a deliberate, ongoing accumulation. I collect vintage maps. I collect pottery from places I've traveled. The collection as autobiography, each piece connected to a memory or a place.
There's a piece of art that, describing something meaningful on a wall, there's a print on my living room wall that I've had since university. It's not valuable. I just love it. Not valuable, but loved. The honest hierarchy of meaningful objects.
I brought it back from an object with a travel story. I brought back this bowl from Kyoto. Every time I use it, I think of the shop where I found it. Objects as memory triggers. The poet Mary Oliver wrote, "Tell me, what is it you plan to do with your one wild and precious life? What you choose to put in your home tells that story."
That's a beautiful quotation to apply to objects. In Chinese, we say 读物思人. To see an object is to think of the person. Things hold people and memories inside them. Your home is full of the people and places that made you.
Sleep's an object. Seeing the thing recalls the person. That's poetry in 4 characters.
Chinese often is.
The objects that make a home. I have my grandmother's clock. I have a chair that was my father's. I have a lamp I bought in a market in Marrakech. Each one a sentence. Each sentence a story together. A home that is completely and unmistakably yours.
And when someone visits your home and asks about those things, where did you get this? Or what's the story behind that? That's one of the most intimate invitations in social life. An invitation to share who you are.
Give the invitation, take it when it's offered.
The language of having people over because home becomes fully alive when you share it.
We're having people over. Hosting visitors at your home. Come over sometime. An invitation to visit your home. Pop over. British casual for visiting. Pop over for a cup of tea.
Make yourself at home. Telling a guest to be comfortable, to act as if the space is their own. One of the warmest hosting phrases in English. Sit wherever you like. Make yourself at home.
The kettle's on. Water is heating for tea in British culture. The kettle's on signals welcome, hospitality, and a good conversation is coming. Come in, kettle's on. 3 words that mean you are wanted here.
Help yourself to. Permission to take what you want without asking. Help yourself to anything in the fridge. Help yourself to more. The host giving the guest agency.
Can I give you the tour? Offering to show guests around your home a small social ceremony. It won't take long. It's not exactly Blenheim Palace. Blenheim Palace being the famous, enormous stately home in Oxfordshire. The joke being, we're not that grand.
It's nothing fancy, but it's ours. Modest acknowledgement of your home before guests see it. The English way of managing expectations with warmth, it's a bit of a mess. We weren't expecting anyone even when you were
Lightning round home vocabulary.
ready.
Your flat has been personalized and made to feel like you.
We've really made it our own now. Took time, but it feels genuinely ours. Every corner is deliberate.
Your home is small but warm.
It's not big, but it's cozy. Once you're in and the lamp is on, it's exactly what I want.
You are gradually improving your home.
We're slowly doing the place up, one room at a time. The kitchen is done. The bathroom is next on the list.
An appliance has stopped working properly.
The washing machine's on the blink. It's finishing the cycles but taking twice as long. I've called the landlord.
You're inviting someone into your home warmly.
Come in, come in. Make yourself at home. Kettle's on. Just sit wherever you're comfortable.
Your home is a place of safety for you.
After a long week, home is genuinely my sanctuary. I close the door and everything outside can wait. Every answer. Warm, specific, and completely natural.
Homework. Describe your home in English. Give us the real version, not the estate agent version. What does it look like? How does it feel? What's the detail that makes it unmistakably yours?
And share the one thing, the object, the corner, the view from a window, that makes your home feel most like home to you.
We want to visit your homes through your words.
And remember, 金窝银窝不如自己的狗窝. Whatever your home is, it's yours, and that makes it everything.
Tomorrow, EP37, a day in my life, the full picture from morning to night, described in natural flowing English.
The language of an ordinary day, which turns out to be anything but ordinary.
Let's learn, speak, and grow together. See you tomorrow.
See you tomorrow.